Wolfcop is a 2014 Canadian film written and directed by Lowell and stars Leo Fafard, Amy Matysio, and Sarah Lind. Well, guys, I just have kind of a short review for you today. Should you choose to accept the mission? But yeah, this is a pretty wild, wacky, I guess, a supernatural horror comedy with a budget of around $1 million Canadian, and it definitely shows. But I'd say the budget was stretched pretty effectively, and there's only so much you could do with $1 million anyways. And so the plot follows Lou Garrow, a troubled and severe alcoholic police officer. He's kind of a slacker on the force, type of guy that gets the job done, but he is obviously has some issues. He lives in the shadow of his father. You know, he's constantly getting his balls busted by his boss. And to add to his problems, he's cursed and turned into a werewolf by a group of occultists when he goes to investigate some strange activity. The werewolf stuff, I gotta say, is handled a bit different here. Because when Lou is in his wolf form, he still has all his human memories. He can talk. So it is definitely a different take on the whole werewolf thing. And that's kind of a cool touch. You know, he also, in my opinion, also has a cool look, you know, because he's always wearing his police uniform. I mean, just the image of a werewolf police officer. It's a cool concept, right? And I kind of feel like Beast from X-Men had to have been an inspiration for this character. He's got, like, his fur's got kind of a blue look to it, so I mean, it's kind of hard for me not to think that. And I gotta say, because this is, as I've said before, this is a werewolf movie. It's a big deal in a werewolf movie. So we're talking about the transformation, the wolf transformation, and I was kind of impressed actually with his initial transformation scene. Surprisingly, I mean, again, working with a very limited budget, it was a limited scene as far as what was shown, but it was done tastefully, and it looked pretty good. And I've got to give the effects team, a good amount of credit for not going the lazy CGI route there. And in fact, I don't remember any CGI, until at least like the last 15 minutes of the film. I could be wrong. Not all of the visual effects are great, but at least they are practical. And, I'll always support that, of course. I mean, and there is some fun, chaotic gore scenes, as Lou kind of dismembers and decapitates people while trying to figure out, what's going on in this town. Who is this cult, and why is he suddenly a werewolf? I do like how everything here is pretty over the top, but subdued at the right moments. It's not completely, well, I don't want to say unbelievable, but I don't know. It's grounded enough. Although there is a scene where one of the villains seduces Lou in his wolf form, and that was pretty unexpected, but also hilarious. I mean, was this the first ever werewolf sex scene? I don't know. Maybe. And speaking of the villains, they give the movie kind of like a fantasy superhero film vibe. But I thought they were kind of the worst parts of the story. They also bring some of the only CGI that I noticed in the film, and it's really bad CGI, so I don't know. But I will say the final boss fight at the end is pretty fun. I've given Wolfcop a solid 5.5 out of 10. It's got a fun, decent script with some fun characters like a coroner who eats while he investigates crime scenes. I thought that was hilarious. There's enough gore to keep us gore fans smiling, and the dumb concept of a cop turned werewolf. I mean, somebody had to do it. There's also a sequel. I own it. I bought it several years ago. I just need to watch it now. Cheers, guys.